Hi, I'm Emily Iglesias, and I'm going to be talking about self-censorship today. So, I looked at the article What the Shelves Aren't Saying, an exploration of self-censoring in high school libraries. And this is by Alyssa Tudor and Jennifer Moore. So, essentially is that self-censorship happens when the librarians are engaging in kind of like a self-defense mode. So, the reason they're in self-defense mode is because they don't want to have any conflicts or challenges with the materials that are in the library. So they're trying to prevent that already. And self censorship happens mainly in elementary and middle schools, according to the article. And as many more states are starting to challenge books, librarians are starting to just start censoring it and taking it off their shelves. So, in this article, they studied about 90 Texas high school libraries to see if they had less than 50% of the books that were listed on three different lists, such as the ALA Top 10 Most Challenged Books from 2016 to 2020. So, as the research found that, of course, smaller schools are going to tend to be less than 50%. And larger schools, yes, will have a majority of the books they found a little bit more than 50%. They realized they were still self censoring with topics because they were missing topics like LGBTQ, and yet they had topics on smoking, alcohol, profanity. So it was a different type of self censorship there. See, the problem with self censoring is that it's dangerous. And I think a lot of people don't really see it as dangerous, but it is dangerous due to the fact that these students aren't having that window, those mirrors, the sliding doors into that human experience. I mean, there's already censorship with them in terms of social media or what their parents are showing. And so when we're denying them these books, the reflection of a human experience, these students might not have the tendency to have compassion or empathy for others because they don't see it in the books that they read or the books that are in their libraries. And again, yes, their librarians are trying to avoid the controversy with these book challenges. They're denying their patrons the information already. So they should be able to be presented with these topics, with these books, with the information, so that they, the students, can form their own opinion and voice it themselves. So, the importance of being aware of your own bias is the fact that it might influence your reactions, their actions, or judgments, because our biases can tend to lead to being unfair or even discriminatory on how we treat others differently. So, in terms of the library, we need to have all types of materials for our students because our students are diverse. And if we aren't aware of that, we're denying our students a diverse look at the human experience. If we're only presenting them with the white male perspective, then that's all they're going to have as an understanding. So, as we librarians, we want to have them have the entire picture and not just some of the parts. The importance of the article was that I learned that librarians are self censoring, of course, trying to prevent the conflicts because nobody really wants to have any type of controversy or anything where they might feel like they're almost kind of being in trouble. But these librarians are also feeling guilty about censoring as well. So it's an understanding because there's so many states who are already like, okay, we're just going to take those books off the shelves. So the librarians are like, well, let me just take it off now before the state tells me to. But we're not able to allow to have these challenges and talk about these challenges when we're self-censoring. And it's important that we do that. I also found very interesting that even though we have these larger schools and they have the books that are 50%, they're still self censoring in a whole different way. So, like I said, their books might have profanity or alcohol or drugs or some type of stuff about sex, but they're not carrying books like LGBTQ as well. So, the censoring is a little bit different. For the article, The Children's Collective Development, I learned that it's so important to choose these books that both have quality and appeal. And even though there are people who are like, "Oh, manga and graphic novels, that's not a book. That's not quality." If it's appealing to the reader, those are books that should be in our library because we're getting the kids to just be invited to reading and love the reading. So as a librarian, we need to collect books that students find appealing, whether they have good quality, and I put it in quotation marks because some people say, well, if it's not like a book that's 300 pages, it's not good quality, or even the good quality that they mention in the article with the plot development and the character development and such forth, you know, we should have those books, and we should have the bad quality books that people say are like, that's not a book. I mean, again, they're in air quotes. To me, it's all quality. So our students are able to determine themselves, is this a book I really like? Is this a quality book for me? Or is it not? So they can find interest in just reading, and that's the importance of having both appealing and quality books. These are my resources I have, and